What is a great conductor? Often when I go to concerts with friends, they ask me, what did I think about the conductor? And I don't know what to say, because I don't know how to describe the problem. And that's why I try to do it here on YouTube. I think a great conductor is someone who does great music. Does it mean that they are great human beings or have a great technique? Not particularly. I think this gets more and more important as orchestras become more emancipated themselves. One conductor literally said that if a musician does not work, he's just going to replace him like a key on the piano. Behavior like this, especially under young conductors, won't be tolerated anymore. Besides this, conducting technique is something very special. My teacher also has a very unique way of conducting. Everything is motivated by pure mind and will, not by brute force and extreme gestures. His technique is extremely elegant, and if you look closely, you can reach so much out of it. I can give you an example. This here should be the beginning of a piece, let's say maestoso, E flat major. Most conductors do something like this. The first problem is that you don't know when the first beat is. When you wait at the top, it just does not work. The second problem is that you don't have a tempo. Same reason, if you stop here, the musicians can't read it. Third problem, there is no sound. It's just brutal and there can't be any nuances. Here's how my teacher is doing it. There's a tempo when going up and going down. There's no stop. And there's some kind of intensity how I hold my hand, because it's motivated by an imagination I have how the sound should be. The problem now, if you set this as a standard, and I do believe that what my teacher is doing makes perfectly sense, most conductors have an awful technique. A famous example would be Christoph Eschenbach. If you look what he's doing with his hands, it makes no sense at all. But have you listened to a recording of Eschenbach? Not bad. His will to express himself through music is bigger than the disadvantage of having a bad technique. Maybe it is because an orchestra can play without a conductor, and most of what a conductor does is in rehearsals, and he could also tell people what to do, but I'm not 100% sure. And this is the problem with rating conductors, but I still want to give you my 5 favorite ones and tell you why I like them. My favorite conductor of all time, number 1, is Claudio Abbado. I'm a big Mahler fan, and I don't think there are any recordings of the Mahler symphonies as good as the ones with him and the Lucerne Festival Orchestra. I can't show you the recording right now because otherwise this video gets banned, but I want to listen to a few bars of Bruckner 7, first movement, and tell you what I like about the technique there. Look at this. It's very elegant and there are no fast accelerated movements. He's not conducting rhythm, which you should sometimes. He's conducting something, I would call it flow or sound in general. And this is exactly what the orchestra needs right now in this situation. Imagine someone doing wild and fast movements. It just wouldn't fit the music. But still, the musicians can extract the necessary information, sometimes with a bad technique. As a human being, I think people really liked Abbado. Someone, I think from the Berlin Phil, said that Abbado was always a gentleman, and I think he's the greatest of all. For the next 4, I'm just going to concentrate on why I like them, not so much about the technique, because as I said earlier, if it works and it doesn't matter. Number 2 is Ricardo Che. He was a student from Abbado, so maybe that's why I like him so much. If you look at his technique, it's not so clean as the one from Abbado, but the music is just incredible. Sometimes I can't even say why I like something better, but I know that I do. And with music, that's something very subjective. And I do believe the more you listen to a specific conductor or orchestra, the more you're going to like it. And the 5 conductors I chose are the ones I also most listen to. I very much like the Brahms symphonies from Che. Go check them out on yourself, they're on YouTube for free, but I can't play them here because otherwise this video gets banned. Number 3 is Andreas Strada. I hope I'm pronouncing this correct. Probably the most beautiful orchestra sound I know, besides the Berlin Philharmonic Orchestra, is the Frankfurt Radio Symphony Orchestra. And because they post nearly every concert in full length, you really have the time to fall in love with this particular sound. I can tell you why I like this sound so much. Go check it out and you will see. What I like very much about Strada is that everything is transparent, so you really can hear everything. And I think that Strada made the Frankfurt Radio Symphony Orchestra to one of the best in the world. I already saw him once live with the Dresdner Staatskapelle and Symphonie Fantastique, and I think it was the best concert I've ever been to. Number 4, Sam Rattle. I think after being the principal conductor over 10 years at the Berlin Phil, there's no way around him. There's not one single recording of him that is not incredible. Something particular that I like is the change of character in his Daphnis Eclair. It's free on YouTube, go check it out. I don't know if every conductor has an overall personal style of interpretation, and I think that every composer should have a different way of interpretation, and that's what makes it so difficult to say why I like a specific conductor, because every piece has different nuances I like. Number 5, Telemann. For Wagner, Telemann is just the way to go. His balance between instruments and the connection of chords between each other in harmony is just incredible. I really want to encourage you to listen to his Wagner recordings because they're just on point. When researching for this video, I listened to the Lohengrin Overture from the Berlin Phil, and I just couldn't stop listening to it. If you found this video interesting, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel so that the algorithm puts my face in front of more people. This way you can support our classical music community and me so that I can keep making these videos. If you haven't seen this video right here, please go check it out and we see each other in the next one.